this. I really can't. Hey, friends. So, we're trying to do this again. We're back up and running. Okay.
Okay, we're the
Hey, yo, the
Hey.
pods are up and running.
Oh, and we got better lighting.
Ooh,
We
better
have
lighting.
audio.
Dude, the sun is actually chasing onto me. I'm gonna have to like change this every once in a while. Okay, so how was the casting process? You go first, and I'll go after you.
Okay. For me, the casting process was, it was kind of crazy. It moved really fast for me just because I came really late in the process. Leah actually tested with a bunch of other people before I had even gone in for my first audition. So I went in the first time, and then it went really well. I remember the casting director, Snacks Woo, shout out.
Snacks Woo!
Leslie Woo. She was just so much fun. She really, I was in the room for like 25 minutes. Like, she just wanted to get the perfect take. And that was really, really, really fun. And then I ended up doing a Skype call with Alice shortly after that. And then I ended up doing the chemistry read with Leah. And it went so well. I mean, it was just so natural and easygoing. We hit it off right off the bat.
Totally.
And then I drove her home. So her boyfriend didn't have to come all the way to Santa Monica to come pick her up.
Guys, it was a rough ride. This place, the casting place, was kind of far away from where we lived.
Yeah, it really far, actually.
Like, super far.
Yeah, and we actually were stuck in traffic on the way back home.
It was nice, though. I feel like it gave us a chance to talk and listen to music and just, like, find out that we had actually had a couple mutual friends, but would have never, ever met each other had it not been for a project like this. It kind of felt like it was like a little play date. Like, we met here, had a lot of fun, and then when we parted ways too, we traded numbers, and like we said we were gonna stay friends anyway, which I found really dope.
Yeah, and I remember calling you when I booked it, and we both were just stoked. Yeah.
And then the next time I saw you was in New York.
Yeah. So that was pretty much my process. It was just a lot of fun, and I had an easier, I think, I had an easier process than Leah did. So Leah, go ahead on your crazy process.
Hey, Pooba! You saw Pooba!
Say it.
Pooba has it. Alexxis?
I'm trying to get
That was incredible.
Okay.
And totally not planned. These plants are like the worst thing in the world. Let me tell you right now, this morning I put on my favorite pair of jeans and a freaking spider flew out of the cuff.
Nope.
And I was shook. I was like, how dare you come into my house during this quarantine, during this really sensitive time in my life and trick on me like that. I was so lit. Anyway, so my casting process was a bit longer than Alexxis's, and I went in, I'd say like over 5 times, and I kind of went in with a much more confident, reassured, I'd say more out there, kind of really rom-comedy version of Ellie, and I feel like it really worked in the first couple of stages. And then I actually met Alice and started talking to her, and she just kind of was like, that's not really Ellie at all, but I would love to hear about you. And we just talked about our lives together, and she actually was able to help me find the deeper, more internal, like patient, more side of myself to be able to step into the role of Ellie Chu after with a bunch of other more trials and reading a play called No Exit that she had me do like a little verbal book report on. Like, that was really dope. But the chemistry tests with Daniel were, I mean, we had so much fun in the room. I felt like Daniel just was Paul right off the bat. But with Alexxis, like, it really was, I mean, her and I had no clue we were going to book the roles. I had been in like how many times, and I still didn't know if I was going to book the role. So it was kind of like, okay, we're just going to give this our all and just see what happens. There's nothing left to lose. And also too, as an actor, like, I feel like we were auditioning a lot during that time. So it was like,
Yeah.
this was kind of the first project that I was like, oh my God, this could really happen.
Yeah.
And we're doing this together. It's really cool. But yeah, and then I booked Ellie, and I remember being in like Ralph's, and I was like, ah! I like started crying. I was like, no way! And Puba, my boyfriend, was with me, and it was like, yeah, it was that really cool moment of like, oh my God, like all of this whole process was so worth it.
Yeah.
And to do it with you, boo boo. Okay, wait. Okay, so more questions. Any opportunity for a music collab? So you guys have been talking a lot about us doing a duet, and because of social distancing, we have decided that it would only be proper to kind of wait until things are safer to do that.
Yeah. And it's hard to do it over a live and being in the right spot, and you know, the connection going in and out. Obviously, you guys have seen I am not good with any sort of like technical stuff. I want to like throw my phone out the window half the time. But yeah, I think we kind of decided we wanted to be able to do a really cool cover when we're in person and have like a really cool song that we agree on, and Leah can play on the guitar.
Like hold hands and like, you know, have a picnic and do the proper way to make a cover.
Yeah, I think you guys will enjoy that more anyways, rather than doing it on this live and it being like, kind of thrown together. Yeah.
Totally. Okay, next question. What kind of movies and roles do you want to play in next?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
That's actually a good question.
That's a great question.
Well, something I personally have always been super into is I love horror movies. I'm kind of like addicted to them. I'm like the worst. I will stay at home and like be by myself and watch horror films by myself alone. And people are like, "Are you like what is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know, okay?" So I've done one horror film, but I've always wanted to do like one of the Conjuring universe type films.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I got really close to booking Annabelle, the latest Annabelle, and it didn't work out. But I just remember going in for that, and man, I was so obsessed with the film, with the Conjuring universe. Like I know so much about that world. So that's definitely something that I'd want to be doing.
Hey, I forgot that you were there. Like, who's that man in your apartment?
I'm in the lobby.
I was like,
you're gonna see some people kind of walking in and out, whatever.
That's fine. Special guest.
So I think like a really cool horror film or some like badass like action film would be a lot to do. Yeah. What about you?
I really want to play. It would be cool to do another like really obscure indie coming of age rom-com, but for an age that's maybe like 20 years old rather than in high school.
Like college.
Yeah. Or also I've always wanted to similarly be in an action film where like I have to physically exert myself and be like, okay, time to whoop ass. Like like, okay, ooh, suit up. Like something really, really cool like that where like I feel like you really got to get a bang for your buck in order to survive by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And just, like I feel like it'd be cool to do something specifically that has to do with being Asian. Maybe being like a kung fu fighter or Mulan 2. No, just kidding. Like the person who was playing Mulan is
Lily Lemon cut out.
live paused because I have like a time limit on my phone that sets like at 15 minutes Instagram's done for you, and it just reminded me.
You're like, oh, okay.
I'm like, oh, sad. I'm gonna be on here for like another hour.
And this is why we cannot sing on Instagram.
Okay, another question.
Yeah, I can open the door for you. Here you go. Yeah, of course.
Oh, sweet of you.
Ew. What we got?
I'm like,
I see one right here. What's the most memorable moment that we have from shooting the half of it?
The whole thing. Don't mind me. I'm just like I'm just readjusting myself. You go ahead and answer that question. I'm readjusting myself.
Most memorable moment. Honestly, it would probably have to be the day of the hot springs. We actually were supposed to hit the hot springs on my birthday, but it ended up
which is coming up soon. Lego.
But it ended up being like super rainy, and there's supposed to be like thunderstorms and lightning. So for safety reasons, we had to flip the days. So we ended up doing that scene the last day on set. So that was pretty memorable and surreal. Like doing this scene that I think we waited the whole entire time filming for. And it was just so cool to just see this hot spring that wasn't even a real hot spring. It was made, but it looked so real, and it was just. We had a lot of fun shooting it, and we kind of came up with our little deciduous move.
Deciduous. Oh, Alice. Oh my God. There were so many words in this movie that I like could not pronounce, and it appeared like I was joking around, but I really they were just stuck in my brain. Like, what was it? Deciduous and deciduous?
Deciduous, and it's deciduous.
And then Camus, I kept saying Camus. I was like, and the theory of Camus is meaningless. And she's like, Camus. Camus. And I'm like, okay, the theory of Camus. Camus. Like,
So yeah, I'd say that was probably the most memorable day / part on set for me. It was just that scene I had been looking forward to doing the whole movie. It's just
also that was like our audition scene. It's like I feel like we thought the scene was gonna go one way, and then to actually have that come to fruition for us together, and after being through this whole movie together as friends, it was just like, ooh,
we were as close as we possibly could have been at that point. So it was
absolutely. And it was the last day, and it was like, is this really happening?
Yeah, we savored every moment for sure, because it was the last day, which was like.
Alice was so cool with always reminding Alexis and I to like stay present too. She'd be like whispering in our ears like, this is the last time you're ever gonna feel this, and we're like, you're right.
Like, what?
Oh my God, Alexis, I love you. I love you. This scene's almost over, but I love you. Like, we're gonna get this together. Like, we're gonna savor this moment.
Yeah.
Okay, more questions. Favorite Office quote. Go, girl.
Oh, I think my favorite, there's so many, but I think one that I kind of relate to is Jan. It's from Dinner Party. I told you that's my favorite episode of all time. But Michael's dipping his steak in the wine, and Jan's like, "You stop doing that. It's disgusting." And he's like, "You know I have soft teeth. Why would you say that?" And I literally have like really soft teeth. I get cavities all the time, so I just relate to that line. And every time I hear it, I die laughing. I think it's so funny. He's like, "You know I have soft teeth. How could you say that?"
Oh, cutie.
Yeah, it's my favorite quote. What about you? You don't watch The Office like as religiously, so would you know?
Yeah, I don't have a quote. I just really like watching Benihana Christmas over and over again, and that's good enough for me.
That is suddenly she's not yo ho. It's yo ho.
She is not yo ho.
No ho. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So good. That's such a good episode.
The things that are good are very, very good. Okay, you ask a question.
I ask a question or I pick a question?
I
don't know. I'm not good at asking questions. Somebody ask a question, I'll read one.
We'll pick. Send a kiss to Brazil.
Okay. How would you say you relate to your character?
I
Roberta.